I have no idea how you feel about this episode. This is the least we've discussed an episode, I think, since we started this. Well, with Flux, I mean, it's the least we discussed Flux in a day.
Well, the reason why I think we haven't discussed it because I think we both feel the same way about it.
Is that so?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I think the fact that we didn't talk about it much,
maybe,
isn't a good thing. And you did just say then you only got to watch it once.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I didn't.
So
usually, me and Connor try and watch it twice. Connor did watch it twice. I only watched it once.
Yeah.
So Village of the Angels.
Great sign, but yeah.
Today we're talking about Village of the Angels. That's the brand new episode of Flux, Chapter 4. Almost there, baby.
Chapter 4, I know.
Chapter 4.
Oh my god.
So this one is written by Chris Chibnall and Maxine Alderton, directed by Jamie Magnus Stone, his last episode for Flux, which is a bit sad. But, great sense of direction the whole episode. But
yes, I agree.
That stuff is all still to come. Let's do it, baby, with the 50% podcast. That's who we are. Yeah, sister.
Hey. 50% podcast.
It's really awkward playing it in person, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said last week, like to hear it through the headphones at home through Zoom, it always just sounds so much different. I just love the fact that you'd be here by yourself and you can just hear it coming through like that.
Teeny ass thing.
That's just so funny. But hey,
Village of the Angels doesn't have any proper things written about it online, so all I will say is that it says this episode presented the Weeping Angels with the power to turn other beings into angels if gathered in a large enough group, as well as revealing the division to having employed angels into their organization. Isn't that crazy? I'm sure I could find like the Radio Times description somewhere.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Instead, you're getting the spoilers. Oh, by the way, spoilers.
I'm sure if you clicked on this, you've already seen it, so you don't really need a synopsis, but
yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Do we go straight into it? We don't fuck around these days, do we?
I don't
know. I don't know. I feel like because there's like a lot to talk about with new episodes, we get like straight to the point. Whereas back in the day, when we reviewed just normal episodes, a couple of weeks ago, we having a laugh. We have episodes like The Next Doctor where we basically say the title of the episode and then don't discuss it.
You have to.
You have
episodes like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to that because
it'll be interesting after doing this for 6 weeks and then going back to that'll just be right at the end of the year. So and then we'll have a new episode again. It's gonna be whack,
bizarre,
but still.
Village of the Angels. Connor, hit me up with your immediate thoughts after watching it.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it by any means, but I feel like I've switched with people because last week, we both really liked it and a lot of people didn't. And then this week, I've seen a lot of people love it and me just think it was just fine.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was a bit disappointed in the sense that I thought, especially with having, like, Maxine on it, I was expecting maybe a little bit more. For an episode with 2 writers, not necessarily a lot happens.
I don't know why there was 2 writers, really.
I don't get that either.
I think maybe Chibnall was like, hey, it can't just be a man writing all these 6 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe the only thing I can think of was maybe he was a little bit scared to take on such an iconic villain as the Weeping Angels and do it by himself.
There's another thought that's flown out there, and this was the same for the Sontaran episode, that maybe because they do say that Flux was originally meant to be a longer series, but they went for the 6 episode thing because of COVID, which
yes,
I still don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It feels like it was always meant to be this way, but if this was intended to be a longer series, perhaps Maxine Anderson was pretty Alderton was pretty late. Was pretty far into writing her Weeping Angel episode, and so maybe he just like drew elements from that into this. Yeah. Interesting. I came out of it pretty much feeling the same. Not underwhelmed because I think it ends on a high in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. But I just throughout the whole episode I was just kind of like, there's a lot of stuff that I just think was unnecessary. I saw it was like almost 60 minutes and that got me hyped because I thought, if it's got a bit of a subplot of the Weeping Angels, but then also running the Flux stuff in the background, I think that a 60-minute slot worked really well for Sontarans.
Because it worked, exactly, it was just like Sontarans, and that worked. Yeah, I agree, it worked really well.
But this one just like, all right, let's break it down. We got obviously the main, like we got the Doctor, Professor, old mate,
and Claire.
That's his name, and Claire. Yeah. That plot was, I guess, the most intriguing part of it.
Yep.
That being said, I don't know if I felt that attached to Claire this time. I really liked her in the first episode in that one scene. And then in this episode, I don't know, because she was just the Weeping Angel the whole time, pretty much. I don't know that we kind of got to know Claire properly.
Yeah.
Professor was cool. Doc was cool. A lot of people saying, like, once again, it's Jodie's best performance. You know, she steps up again. I don't think it was a step down, but, like, I don't know that it was a step up either.
I think people are just nutting over the fact that she's just getting something a bit more to work with.
Something, juicier, yeah.
Which is just like what she should have just had from the beginning and just didn't.
Speaking of getting stuff
like,
to work
what the
with,
hell, you know?
Yaz and Dan.
Yeah.
Man, the 1901 subplot, couldn't care less about. Every time we cut to that, I was like, why are we here?
I know.
It was boring. It looked boring.
Yeah.
The child character was, sorry,
they were after obviously Peggy, who disappeared,
and
in
from the get-go, she was gonna be the older lady. Like, did you see that twist coming? Because I saw that coming from a mile away.
I didn't see it coming, but then it happened, and I was just like,
nah. First time I saw that kid,
I was like, whatever, who cares? I was like, whatever. That's so obvious though. But like, that was. The thing is though, like, I appreciate that we got some time with just Yaz and Dan, and I think if it wasn't really for their characters kind of bouncing off each other, I would have completely like really disregarded those scenes. But you're right, it didn't really add much. I didn't really care, and it cut to Belle for like a majority of the episode. And I'm like, this is very unnecessary.
Very out of place.
What the hell is this? Like, we got to see Blake Harrison, which I thought was cool, but his character didn't really add anything at all either.
No,
it was just there to be there as a character who's like, I'll come here, and we got to see what's her fucking face again? I keep forgetting the name, but I wrote it down.
Azure,
yeah. She rocked up briefly with Passenger, and we kind of got to see what we kind of saw last week about how all the souls got put into Passenger and stuff.
But now we're seeing that they're abducting stuff, which was pretty cool. But
it's like, what the fuck?
I wish it was either somehow mixed into last week's episode or into this next episode.
It literally did feel like a couple of scenes missing from like last week's episode to fit into this, and we do get a briefing with Vinda at the end with the whole mid-credit scene. But it kind of just felt like, to me, it's like, oh, she was in last week, so we'll throw her in again, and Vinda's been in all of them, so we'll throw him at the end as well.
Yeah.
And, but I feel like if it wasn't for, like, Dan and Yaz and their characters, despite me not loving Yaz's character so much, I think they were just the only reason why I really liked those scenes in 1901.
Yeah, even then, I don't know. I didn't find Yaz and Dan overly believable in those scenes. For me, it was like the weakest that those two have been this series, like performance and writing wise. I think
it really did feel like they didn't know what to do with their characters.
It just everything about those scenes felt really flat to me. Like the humor didn't hit with me and Dan this time, which was a shame because usually I'm laughing at every Dan joke in there, and I just none of it hit at all. Like I don't think a single joke. There was one joke in the episode that made me laugh. Not by Dan, it was by the professor guy. And it was when he was like, "Sorry, I threw a cup at you."
Yeah,
to the doctor.
In that
was funny.
In the state with the whole mind thing.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. It was a shame that I felt like this was a bit of a letdown after being like a bit of a continuous streak. But again, people have really loved it. Which is, I've heard people being like, "This is the best episode of the Flux."
Lots of like 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 10s.
And I'm like, damn.
I want to say though, like I think we've started off really negative about it. I don't feel that strongly negative about it. There's a lot of things. I think I'm negative about it because for me, the first 3 episodes of Flux have been so great, and so for this one to maybe be a step to like, you know, Chibnall's first 2 series kind of level of writing, was maybe a bit disappointing. I feel like I don't know. I feel like this episode would fit in with series 12 in terms of like tone and like, for example, if this had replaced Haunting of Villa Diodati or something in that series, I feel like it would have fit in just with how the rest of that series is written. I think one last negative thing, and then we'll jump into some positive stuff. For me, and I was having a chat with Dylan about this, so maybe I was being picky or something because Dylan really disagreed, was that I felt like the dialogue was the worst the dialogue's been this series. It almost like every line like irked me. It was, I think, but the thing is with dialogue, I think once you notice it, then you start to notice it. Because sometimes in like previous episodes, I notice a line, but then it doesn't quite get to me. But then sometimes, like in this episode, I heard like 1 or 2 lines in a row that were like really exposition heavy. And from then on, my mind was just like, I wasn't looking for them, but it's hard not to when you sort of start to notice them more and more. And you're like, oh, another line. I thought the dialogue was pretty garbage this episode, to be blunt. Sorry, that was really blunt.
No, that's all right. But I think we had a similar thing, both of us, and I think maybe a lot of people, where I just thought with the whole two writers thing, we could have expected like a really polished script, and I don't think it delivered on that part.
No, because it wasn't even balanced. Like the different plots, it wasn't balanced at all, which is weird.
Yeah, I feel like. Again, like the whole Belle stuff as well was a step too far. Like it just doing stuff like that, and if it was necessary to chuck that little side plot in, I think it could have just been done better.
Yeah,
it's an episode about the Weeping Angels, but we keep cutting back to her character, which there's still a lot of subplots to get tied in. I think because they have such little episodes, they have to throw in stuff like that to because it has to be explained how this is happening, this has happened, and stuff.
I can imagine it's a hard balance to get that right.
100%, yeah. But I agree with you. Like, by no means do I think this is a really bad episode. Like, I still really enjoyed it. I still think Flux is still a really interesting thing that Doctor Who has done. I just think this is probably the first time I've been a bit let down. But I don't know. Maybe it's not right to say I have my expectations too high. But yeah, I think the whole two writer thing, I thought. You're right, though. Why? I don't know why it did need two writers, unless that thing you said was right. I don't know. But, I don't know.
Something that I really liked about this episode, and some people think that it's to the episode's detriment, but I think it's a good positive. Mm-hmm. Sure, it's good to add new and exciting things to the Weeping Angels. I always hate it when new things come in Weeping Angel lore, and then I like it a bit later. Like, I've only just come to appreciate the whole image of an angel becomes an angel thing. I never really liked that in the past.
They really ran with it in this episode.
Well, that's the thing. They grabbed like all of the weird stuff that Moffat added over time. Like image of an angel becomes an angel, the getting an angel in your head stuff.
Yes.
All that stuff was like established, and they grabbed that and really ran with it this episode. And I really like that. Mm-hmm. Instead of adding new things, they pushed the things that were already established. Even the
eye thing that Amy does.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the dust coming out.
Flesh and Stone. Yeah.
That was I really like that. I did like the angels this episode. I think there was a few PNG angels. I didn't know if I cared for if you get zapped a second time, you get broken.
That's interesting, hey?
Because has that ever happened in the show before? That you see, has anyone ever been zapped twice before? They have. I
don't think so. Who's been zapped twice?
Rory in Angels Take Manhattan, right? He's getting zapped left, right, and center, man.
He should be fucking stoned.
Dude, he's stoned.
He's dead.
He's stoned as Alpha Darville is stoned as fuck.
He is stoned.
Yeah, no. But then I'm also like, Moffat kind of added this thing in Angels Take Manhattan where the angels kind of, they have these rules of, they turn to stone whenever they're being seen and stuff. But a lot of it is kind of in their head in a way. And they kind of, like Flesh and Stone, Time of Angels, right? They kind of make it so when they think that Amy can see them is when they turn to stone. But then once they start to realize that, maybe she can't see him, they start to slowly come out of their stone state. So that's like, I think a lot of their powers are stuff, like it's like a law for them, turn to stone when people are looking. But if you don't, you can still do it, but you're just going to get fucked up. You're losing your powers. It's weird. Sometimes I do wish that maybe we stayed with just Blink, but I don't know. That's such a shit thing to say. They are really good.
But the thing is, I was watching this and I was like, the thing is, no matter how many times you do an angel story, people are always going to compare it to Blink, and it's just hard to not think about that.
No, of course. I think
it's just like difficult to even try and do something with the angels because you're always going to be like, but Blink was so good and smart,
It's always going to feel like the standout. I think that's because
even Moffat tried to do, the guy who wrote Blink, even tried to do more stories and it didn't work as well.
And I think he did well. I think it's just like Blink, like let alone the Weeping Angels, but the actual structure of the episode, it's so unique, and so you can't really do that kind of thing.
Yeah,
again.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's great.
Did you? What do you think of like? It's a great time to ask a question to you. I was just gonna say, I'll make the question last a little bit longer when I'm explaining it. I've seen a few people online talking about when I say of a negatives episode, they said that they didn't find it very scary, and obviously the angels are very like notoriously scary characters. And I'm not saying obviously we would be scared of an episode of Doctor Who these days, but if you were watching this as a kid, I don't think I'd be scared of it.
Oh, Matt.
Rip Matt.
I think I might have been.
Really?
I don't know. I don't think I would have been necessarily scared in the way that I was scared of Blink, because Blink was like, a lot of foreboding stuff, a lot of like, looking behind you, lots of jump scares and things like that. This episode, I think, had really good imagery. Like the hands coming out of the cave, that stuff looked awesome to me. And a few, like the burning angel as well, I thought that looked cool as. Little like images like that, I think, that play in your head.
Right.
I think psychologically, that stuff is scary. Wouldn't have been as scared as I was watching Blink or Time of Angels, Flesh and Stone.
Yeah, again, maybe I'm just comparing it, but I just thought like, I don't know, because when it opened, I was like, this episode has a really good chance to be a real spooky episode and a really great like change of pace for Flux. And I just felt like, although I thought the whole angels attacking the house thing was really cool, and it's a really cool idea, and I've had that kind of idea in my head, like, oh, that'd be really cool if like the angels were all just trying to get into a house. And but it was kind of just like, we're in the main room, and then we're down in the cellar, and that was it. There wasn't really, like, running from separate rooms. It was just like, we'll set up a CCTV somehow.
Yeah, don't question it.
Hook up to a fucking old-ass TV, and it somehow works. And there's just suddenly a fucking secret escape where apparently the old guy who...
That was the biggest bullshit ever.
He, like, would have his, like, escorts come through there or
if that had been established, then
like he's
sure.
JFK.
But, like, yeah, it was so dumb. Okay, what do you think of one of the big twists in the episode? The Weeping Angels being Division agents.
That was cool. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, did you like it as a twist?
I still don't know what the fuck the Division are, though. So I'm like, does it make sense if they would hire the Angels? Like, is that just not in their character? Is it in their character? I don't know. Like, it's hard to make it's like they work with the Angels. Like, well, they also work with the Carvanista, and they also work with the Doctor and other people. So it's like, does it... I don't know. Is it really?
It is hard to say without seeing it. For me, and this is where I'm not necessarily huge on where the Angels have gone since Blink, is because I prefer them as, the lonely assassins. They're scavengers, right? They get described as scavengers, I think.
Yeah.
And
now they're working for the Division.
That's so good when there's just 4 of them in Blink, and then when you get a big temple of them in Flesh and Stone, kind of... I don't know. It does work because it's like, oh, there's a swarm of them.
Yeah, we said
That's
that when we reviewed it again.
Yeah. But, and then Angels Like Manhattan, it's like they're not really, they're not really scavengers anymore because they just occupy a city, which is just like...
They somehow are building in New York.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It's crazy. And then this one, I don't think scavengers necessarily would work for the Division, but I did see a tweet online that said, nobody's asking what have the Division done to make the Angels work for them. So like, what if the Divisions have like,
who knows,
roped the Angels into it? Like, they're like, you're not getting no fucking time energy unless you grab me the Doctor, and so that's kind of cool. I don't know if I believe it.
That surprised me a bit, but yeah.
I don't know if I believe it if it's just like the Angels work for the Division. If it's just that
work. So it was a rogue angel that attached us, that had, I don't know, angel, she attached herself to Claire, and then got the coordinates in her head to go and see the Doctor, which is what we saw in episode 1, Halloween Apocalypse, which then took her to, what was it, 1985 or some shit.
Yeah.
Another thing I really liked, though, was it was November 21st, which is really
cool. Nod.
So just like October 31st in Halloween Apocalypse, it aired on the same day that we got it, which I think that's a really cool thing that Chibnall does. But there was the whole thing about, like, I thought one of the coolest and intriguing things from the trailer when I started the episode was when Claire was like, everyone in the town disappears. But it didn't really go anywhere.
No, it hasn't, has it?
No, I think it's just referring to the fact that there's like because at the end we find out the town's been pretty much stolen from time, and that's why there's all that shit coming in. And I think it's just like everyone slowly got taken away and they got sent to back in time, and the reason why they got taken away as well is because it's closing in on itself. So it's like who the chicken laid the egg type thing. They get sent back, they got taken away, but because they got taken from there, they get taken from here, and it's like...
Here's another thing that pissed me off about this episode was I felt like the characters played dumb a little bit. Like the phrase quantum extraction. Look, okay, I'll admit, I'm not overly into sci-fi, but like obviously I love Doctor Who, and I'm well versed in the Marvel stuff. I'm not a nerd over it and stuff, but like
Aiden loves that, man.
Oh yeah, but like the term quantum extraction, and you're looking out. The village that you're in has been taken into space. I think you can put 2 and 2 together. That quantum extraction means that you've the town has been taken off of the... Like, there was a whole thing of
Yaz
like...
is like, Doctor,
they were all like, what does it mean? What does it mean? I'm like, you can figure it out yourself. It's not that hard.
Stuck around you, I think.
Literally. And it didn't even need to be a thing. Like, they could have literally just been like, oh, we're in space. It didn't need to be, are we in space? Nah. What is quantum extraction, though? I don't know. Like, it was...
Maybe it's got something to do with the fact we're in space.
Who
knew? Yeah, and like, I just feel like... there's just stuff like that, and I think... Even on like Twitter, I've not really seen a lot of people talk about this episode. We weren't really that keen to talk about it in the group chat. Even today, it's like we're coming here and it's like, I kind of feel like, oh, what's there really to talk about? Like, it doesn't... Like, the last couple of weeks, I felt really excited about, you know, chatting about the new episode.
Yeah.
This kind of feels a bit like... A bit dull. It's like, yeah, you're right. Kara's kind of playing dumb. Angels were fine. Did it really push the plot further? I guess like every episode would do that, but it's like, is it really?
We didn't get any like answers or anything, which is fine.
No.
I'd hope we start to get answers in episode 5 because
they're
for
running
me,
out of time.
This whole division stuff, quite literally,
crazy.
This whole division stuff, I think this episode definitely was starting to push the whole like, who's the division? Why won't you tell me? Like, someone just fucking tell the Doctor who the division is, you know?
How many times are we going to hear the Doctor go, tell me? And then the Angel's like, I know all the secrets, including yours.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I won't fucking tell you. Who knows when we're going to find out. What? And now, the thing is, though, they've hyped it up so much that I feel like whatever it's going to be, people are just probably not going to like it because we theorize what it can be. What can it be? Will it satisfy people? I don't know. It's like, is it even that bad? Is it what caused the flux? We don't know. I'm just a bit worried now that we've got 2 episodes left and we don't even know how much Doctor's going to be in this episode after what happens in the end here. So it's like, how much will her arc get pushed forward? We don't even know.
I actually hope she's not in this next episode.
Me either. That'd be cool. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I'm hoping that this next episode, episode 5, is going to be all about sort of it's called The Survivors of the Flux. I hope it's literally about the people that have survived the Flux, like Dan and Yaz and the people from this Angel episode trying to get back to get to the Doctor and save the Doctor. And then I hope it's cutting between that. I hope we then cut between like the Vinda and the Bell plot actually pushing forward a bit. And then I hope that we cut to Earth and the Lipari and Kate trying to defend Earth against the Lipari. Kate and the Lipari trying to defend Earth against either the Flux or a species.
I know we're like skipping a bit ahead, but why the fuck did they show Kate in the trailer? That would have been such a cool thing to see next week.
It would have. I don't mind because I assume it's going to be quite early on in the episode. Yeah, I don't know why they did.
That's so fucking shit. Why
I'll also say though,
wait?
For me, that found this episode a little bit lackluster. The ending of the episode, which we'll get to in a sec, and then on top of that, seeing Kate in the next time trailer. Seeing Kate, I genuinely went, woo! Like I did like a verbal woo in my bedroom. I was stoked.
She hasn't been in it since
2015. I was thinking.
Was it just Day of the Doctor she was in last?
No, she did some Pete episodes.
Sorry, of course. Yeah,
it was
Saigon.
Saigon, Saigon Boys.
Okay.
Yeah, so that finding this episode a little bit lackluster and then having a pretty solid ending for the episode followed by a really exciting next time trailer did leave me excited for next week.
Looks a lot better.
Yeah.
I think the Flux has been working where it's that kind of like crazy, hectic, like this is happening, and like I thought I did want a bit of a slower paced episode, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, and I think it will work in the slot of episode 4, but I think just the way it was handled was not done well. I would have much preferred a slower episode that was just done a bit differently.
Yeah.
Although I will say this, the whole Mind Palace thing with like the Doctor and Claire.
That was awesome, yeah.
That shot on the beach was beautiful.
That was really cool.
With the 2 tides coming in.
That was awesome.
Looked awesome.
So weird seeing filming pics of that.
I sent that this week. I randomly found it on my phone somehow, and I was like, "Oh damn, there'll be like a beach scene." So that was what it was from. That was
so
really
cool seeing how that came into play because we were all like, oh, "Claire's gonna get sent back in time," like that because we always saw that there was an angel.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Yeah, no, that was cool, and that stuff was all executed really well.
What do you think of this? I thought this is pretty funny. Peggy's guardians get killed because they apparently get sent back twice, and that happens now. Yaz started crying.
She was crying loads though.
Like, is it just like she just hates to see anyone I get in real life it'd be a traumatic thing to see someone die.
Yeah.
But
it felt out of place though, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a TV show. You're like, interesting. Like,
yeah.
She just starts crying over Peggy's guardians.
Again, it's weird to complain about that because people are dying, but I don't know. I feel like Yaz has seen some traumatic stuff before like that, and she's not crying like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, and it was very like tears were dripping like crazy, man.
We've got to go. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know. And I think Dan had some weird line there as well that I didn't believe. I don't know. I don't remember though.
Yeah, Dan like didn't have much to do at all.
No.
Like,
okay, this is a problem that I don't think is going to get fixed this series. So I'm gonna put it out there that Dan has had 0 time with the Doctor.
Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? And this episode, I really thought we would get some this episode.
Yeah, we needed to have, I think, Dan with the Doctor this week.
Zapped instantly.
Yeah,
Crazy.
But yeah, so that's a big shame. It is a big shame.
And they won't next week at any time.
That's what I mean. I think genuinely reckon it's going to be like the first special, like the New Year special. We're going to finally get that air of being able to see Dan with the Doctor interact properly.
It's like, I don't barely know you, but we saved the universe together, so let's get to know each other now, I assume. Yeah, that is nuts.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously, like, even with, like, even like Vinda and like the Dan and Yaz and all that, they had some time, or like Yaz and, sorry, I'm saying like Yaz had time with Vinda and Dan's had time with Yaz, like that seems to be going fine, but it's like, the Doctor just like fucks off and then they go off to go and try and find, what's her fucking name, Peggy, and then they just get taken instantly. That did surprise me, but I was like, and it's like, I like that it has consequences because it doesn't just get solved at the end of the episode. I like that in the next time trailer, you hear Dan say we've been in for 3 years. Yeah, and I really hope it has consequences. I want to see some consequence. Don't just say it's been 3 years. 3 years is a fucking long time.
It's a very
Sorry, this happened last week.
The mic falling over.
It's like
a very Matt Smith, Stephen Moffat era thing to do. You know, that stuff would always happen back then. And I'm trying to think what else there is to talk about because I do think it was beautifully shot. I think there was some really cool imagery in there.
I was going to start as his last episode, but
But I'm pretty sure he's doing Jamie Magnus Stone, the director. I'm pretty sure he's coming back to do the New Year's special, and he's definitely doing the Centenary special. I know that, so that's cool. I'm glad that Jodie's last episode is in good hands. Yeah,
he's definitely a strong director. Like there were some really cool shots in the episode. This is such an awkward angle.
Yeah,
there's some really cool shots in the episode, but I'm just going to press that back a little bit.
Yeah, no, do that. Just fixing, doing some DIY mid-podcast. Woo!
I try not to touch it because it like has a line of its own, but I won't touch it from here.
Yeah. In the meantime, feel free to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor.
Yeah.
Watch us on YouTube.
Been silent about this episode as well. I haven't heard anyone talk about it.
Yeah, no, I've not got much reviews on. Yeah, it's a weird one. It is weird.
There was a really cool shot. There was 2 really cool shots I liked. One was when it cut between like the 2 time streams of the same place, and it went to like it went to space, and then it flipped, and it went back to.
That was cool, yeah.
So it went to daytime, and it flipped through space. That was a really good shot.
Oh.
And the eye shot was really cool with the professor, where like he gets touched by the angel, and then like you see the dust go in the eye, and it goes and shows the angel, and then it cuts to daytime in 1901, and he puts his glasses back on. And flashback. That was a fucking great. Smooth transition. I thought it was really good.
You know what looked horrendous?
What?
Was when they were like, we all have to blink at the same time. And then they cut the 3 of them together in one shot.
What was that?
That was garbage.
Comic panel?
Oh my god.
What did you think of that opening scene in the TARDIS?
Oh, dude, I hated that. Yeah, I think that set me off on the wrong foot. You know?
I know, literally, when last week's episode started, I was like, I just know I'm going to really like this episode. And then when this started,
from the get-go,
I knew I wasn't going to like it.
It fell off, hey. I don't know. I think I'll like it a bit more with time.
Time heals all.
Time heals all. I think I'll tend to enjoy the Jodie stuff a bit more in it. Because I do think it was quite good. But I don't see myself really coming around to all the side stuff. I think that was pretty...
I know, all the garbage other episodes of Flux so far, I feel like it's going to be really interesting to rewatch. This is the episode I'm like, it was hard to... Like, it is hard to watch an episode twice in a day anyway, for me at least.
Yes, it is, yeah.
But I struggled most with this one, which is such a shock. I really thought I was going to look at this episode as like a standout. Especially with two writers. And
that
especially boggles my mind.
With just everyone else loving the episode. That's what's so bizarre to me. Like, there's clearly something that we're not seeing. I don't know. I think so. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe we're bitter Doctor Who fans.
Yeah, we're just bitter. We just hate Chris Chibnall.
I haven't spoken to Dylan about it. Did he like it?
Dylan loved it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was messaging him and I was like, yeah, it kind of wasn't really for me, man. And yeah, I could tell he was quite like, dude, it's fucking great. And I was like, ah!
That was us last week.
I know.
We were like, loved it. And everyone was like, yeah.
I suppose it's like what you want out of a story, you know? I don't know. I don't know what I mean by that either. But
yeah, but it is, I guess, on paper. But it's like, I guess, like, maybe just something just didn't work for us. Like,
yeah, I don't think...
You know?
I think for me, there wasn't much character work in this episode because side characters, right? Episodes 1 through 3, I think, have all had really good side characters that I've really enjoyed watching, whether it's Dan's parents or the introductory of Claire in episode 1, Carvanista. All those characters, I think, have been really enjoyable to watch. And it's one of the things I've loved about Flux is that all the side characters seem like RTD era side characters, right?
You're right when you said it's like a whole world.
Yeah. This episode, to me, the side characters just felt a bit like... They didn't feel fleshed out to me. I don't think we got to know Claire.
I like the Professor's character a lot.
Professor was cool. Yeah, he was definitely cool. He was a standout. The two parents were like written to be unlikable. And that's just like so unengaging to watch. Just two unlikable people running around.
I think it's Gerald and Jean, I think.
Gerald and Jean, yeah.
Yeah, they were literally.
So, and then like we said, Dan and Yaz, I don't think they were written engagingly. And then the Doctor herself, I think she was written well. I think she was good, but I'm looking for those moments now. We're picking up, the Doctor's in a lot of distress. I'm looking for those consequences for how she's been dealing with Yaz and how she's been dealing with her emotions, how she's like cut everyone off. And we're not really getting that. I kind of felt like last week was such a big emotional thing, right? The end of last week was really good. I love how they pushed her character there. And she's snapping, and it's just showing that she's really not okay where she is right now mentally.
Yeah.
And then this week, it was like, new episode, let's reset.
Fresh slate, and it literally takes place the second
immediately after. Yeah, because she's like kind of joking around. There was one movement that I loved from Jodie, performance-wise, and I actually thought it was funny. When the Sonic's hot, and she's like, oh,
yeah, that was funny.
I actually thought that was quite good. Usually, that stuff I think can be played slightly too comedic, but I think she did it. I don't know.
Yeah, I liked it well.
I think she played it really well.
Yeah, I think the only time we really got some good emotion from her was when she was on the beach. And although I do hate that we keep hearing what happened, it was a really good performance. So
it was a good performance, but it's just like, you know, I feel like that scene has just been copied and pasted out of the last 3 episodes. Yeah, and that's the thing.
It's going to not cut it for much longer.
Exactly. Like it won't. Like it didn't really cut it.
We got to just get through it, I think.
Yeah.
What did you think of Claire's fucking wings? In the mirror.
You know what? Cool shot.
Did you like it?
I thought, and I would have preferred it if it was this way, but, you know, I guess it was still kind of cool, was like, you know, we tilt down, tilt back up, and you see the wings, and then she turns, and it's a weeping angel that's behind her. I thought that's what it was going to be.
I like
but the fact that it was her wings was a bit weird. It was a bit X-Men 3, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I do, yeah, right at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's... It's fine. I
don't know. Let's talk about the ending. Let's talk about that climax.
Yeah, because that's pretty much it. I don't have really anything else, unfortunately. Okay.
I think it was really great.
Yeah, I like the end. It was alright, yeah.
I think that shot was dope. I didn't really care for them yelling through time streams. It was all a bit weird. Sorry. Before we get to the ending.
Yeah.
I'm just jumping around everywhere.
That's right.
But just before I forget...
I feel like this episode.
I thought there was a lot of convenient stuff happening in this episode.
Yeah.
The fact that the professor, when he gets zapped to just be with Dan and Yaz.
The exact same
Like,
place.
he's not zapped anywhere else in the village. I thought that was weird. There was also a line where I think Yaz was like, we've got to find that girl. And then the girl walks out. And she's like, I'm here. There was a lot of like convenient stuff like that I wasn't a fan of. Then there was cool stuff, you know. The Fire Angel was cool. I like the drawing coming together. That stuff was kind of cool to me. I just like how the angels were smart and kind of unstoppable in a way. The ending, I think it looks beautiful. All them crane shots on a techno crane.
It's just
they're coming down.
All of a sudden, like.
Looks so good, dude. All the backlighting in this episode, I think it was really well shot. And yeah, that pushed on through to the final scene where we have the Doctor, this awesome like rotating potato shot. There is a word for that kind of shot, but I can't remember what it's called. An orbit. We're orbiting around her.
Right.
As all the stones coming on. I think it looked awesome, dude. And then...
What do you think, though? What do you think of her being a stone angel?
I hope it's just like she's in carbonite. You know, I hope that's their way of transporting
I think
her.
it's like a carbonite thing, yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was just dope. I just feel like it's one of those things that Chibnall and Maxine were like sat there and they're like, you know, it'll be really fucking cool. Oh, they're like, you know, we've got to capture Jodie and get her off
turn her into an angel.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, that'll look cool. We don't need to give an explanation, and I don't mind if they don't. As long as it's that's their way of getting them from A to B, I don't mind. It's a cool mode of transport. It's like a car.
I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it's like it's fine. Like, and it's not gonna like, you know, impact the whole Flux thing massively. I think we had spoken briefly previously about the idea of episode 5 being like side character kind of based. We had that theory that it would be like the Doctor won't be in it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good idea. So the Angels must be in the next episode to some extent.
Yeah, they must be involved in the rest of the season somehow. I'd say
to an extent they must be. Yeah, I thought it was fine. It was interesting that, like, you know, obviously I thought, you know, it was all to do with Claire, and then it made sense obviously that, you know, they got Claire because they knew the Doctor would help, and what they want more than Claire, and the angel that had been like, you know, went against the other angels, what they wanted more was the Doctor. And because, are they mad at something that she did at the Division, or are they just like, we fucking hate the Doctor, so we're gonna get her and
the Division? I think they're hunting her for a reason. I think, yeah.
Yeah, so it has something to do with the whole Division thing.
Probably to do with her being responsible for the Flux or whatever, you know.
Possibly.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Still left scratching my head over a few things. But
yeah. A lot of like the actual plot that was kind of the plot of this episode, I don't know that I followed. Yeah, I don't know that I quite get the why everyone disappeared in 1901 stuff. I don't know. I think maybe those scenes I just wasn't invested in, and so maybe I missed a few things in there. And then I didn't really like the whole that the main angel was an angel that was on the run from the Division, because in the end the angel was doing the same thing as the other angels and was responsible for capturing the Doctor. Whereas, like, so having it be on the run for the Division from the Division angels had no impact on the story really, other than explaining what was in her head, in Claire's head. Like,
that doesn't matter because you're here now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know what you mean. And it's like, there was just some unrealistic lines where the Doctor was like, let my friends go, and just like talking to the angel that had like escaped and was on the run, and she was like, let my friends go and I can discuss with the angels about them taking you back. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
How the hell is she going to do that? Like, and even Yaz, like, when the Doctor is getting like turned into an angel, Yaz like goes to like run. And I'm like, you've already seen like Dan chuck like a stick through and it's like disintegrated, and like she goes to run after to the next thing, and then like Dan holds her back, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you can't go through.
Doing,
like,
yeah,
it's just stuff like that. I'm like, you're right. Characters were kind of acting a bit strange. I just didn't feel like the last 3 episodes. I've really felt like there's such an energetic sense to it, and I felt really engaged. But again, even on Instagram, like, no one's really sent anything through. Like, no one's really talking about it. I normally see like Flux trending on Twitter heaps. Like, normally all the YouTubers and fans are all talking about it. I didn't see really anything about it. I'm not really, like, last week there was theories and everyone's talking about characters or maybe where it will go.
Yeah.
I really hope next week brings back that love for the Flux storyline so far. But I think it will.
I hope so.
From the look of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I genuinely don't know what more there is to say about this episode,
there is that, briefly, there is that mid-credit scene. What do you think of that?
Okay, the scene itself was, like, fine. Like, it was alright.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it was made to be a mid-credit scene.
What is that about?
I think they, like, wanted to have it there, but they wanted to, like, end on the big cliffhanger of the Doctor being an angel. But then I'm also like, why didn't they just put this scene at a different
time,
part in the episode? You know, because I like finished the ep and I was like, oh, they've only gone to Belle twice. That's weird because like thematically you do things in threes, right? So it was weird that it was only in 2 times, and then it popped up in the end, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. I did like the score that was like kind of falling apart at the end. I rated that, like the Doctor Who theme, but it was like
I did notice that. Yeah, it was a bit
sad,
yeah. I agree. I actually got spoiled on, I think, Sunday that there's going to be the mid-credit scene, so I was expecting it.
No, really?
That independent review, there was a couple of spoilers on Twitter, and someone said there's a mid-credit scene. Yeah, Trent Krim, the independent. Apparently, just like this interview that just got... the review just got put out too early. I think.
Yeah, it did, I think
the embargo was like, you can't put them out to the episodes come out, but they just did it anyway, and either way... I thought the episode that scene was fine. What made me laugh so much was Belle knew that her message was limited time.
I know.
She knew she could only record it once, and she does to start with, before I say anything, these are my coordinates.
Yeah.
No, she goes on about cracking fucking jokes and shit.
And like, she's not rushing when she's talking as well. She's like...
me, I would... It's like, oh, by the way, the coordinates are... No. Why the fuck wouldn't you say it first? This is literally life and death. And what's with these messages? Like, Vinda said it last episode, it's like, I can only send this message once. And it's like, what's this one message thing bullshit
it's
about?
Convenience, Connor.
It's convenience.
Also, if she... I don't know that we... Do we know... Because she must have been there to record the message. She must have put that on the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Surely she could have just carved in on the wall, these are my coordinates. Sorry, didn't put it on the voice message. XOXO, Belle.
I know, if you think about stuff for more than like 2 seconds, it's really... I even heard last week, this is like a massive from last week, a big continuity error, when there's only like 6 of the... What the fuck are those people called again? The people who stood on the things?
The Vanquishers?
Mori, yeah. There was only 6 things, but the Doctor and Dan jump on one, which means an extra one gets added technically, because there's Vinda... and there's Yaz, and there's the Doctor, and there's Dan, and there's only 6 of the things.
Yeah.
So an extra one isn't technically free, but Dan jumps on an extra one. I heard someone on YouTube today. I think that's what they were saying.
No, I think it's fine because there was 4 of them.
I think how many? There was 6, wasn't there? Though.
Oh, there might have been 6. Yeah, but then but
so.
Like,
two were taken. No, because like they said, three got taken. There was only 3 survivors left. And that's the 3 that you saw in the dream. They were all big. What they're saying
I don't fucking know, man.
What I'm saying is Dan. There was one already standing. So how did Dan jump on it?
I'll take your word.
Yeah, you'll see what
I'll see when I watch next time. I'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. Do you have anything else you want to talk about for this episode? We've gone through it real quick. I am very excited to rewatch it because I think it will improve on rewatch. But
no, that's about it really. I mean, there's not really much else to say
other than fucking go Kate. Bringing Kate in next week, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, Kate's in it next week. We get to see Vinder's boss again, like you said. He's gonna be back. The Tunnel Man's back.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, all that stuff seems to maybe be coming together, which is nice. I hope we have a bit of sense
as well.
I hope like the cliffhanger is that we actually have a bit of sense as to what's going on.
Yeah,
will be nice.
Carvinist is back. He mentions Earth Shield is gonna be going. So obviously they're all there defending Earth. That's why it's still standing.
Mm-hmm.
Only other thing to mention is that behind Vinder's boss in the shot that he's in the trailer,
the TARDIS.
You can see the TARDIS in the background. So obviously the Doctor is most probably gonna be back for that scene. Mm-hmm. So that's about it really. Not much to say, unfortunately, but
either that,
or Vinder's flying it,
or Vinder's flying it, or the Angel's flying it, or because that guy, that Serpent Man, he's a dodgy boy, isn't he? Maybe he's like stolen the TARDIS or he's bought it or something, and that's his inclusion.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Just theories, you know?
Just theories. That's just a theory, a film theory.
Let's move on to the segment where we talk about your guys' opinions, which we don't have too many of, but time for Just Twitter Tings. Yeah, so a bit lackluster in all ways. I do feel bad. Like, I'm sorry this was such a negative... Me and Connor, like, not enjoying the episode. Oof, wow, we've had a big accident on the set of the 50% Doctor Who podcast. Connor's mic is gone.
This fucking thing. I can try and do it if you want.
Okay. Yeah, so... I hate just ranting. It was, like, good, enjoyable, fun. And to top it off, we don't have a lot of you guys saying that much online this week. Which, I don't know if that says something about the episode.
Coincidence? I think not.
No, but at the same time, like, everything I'm seeing online is people enjoying it. So...
That's true.
It is a bit of a weird one. Alright, so... Dylan says, my favourite episode of Flux so far. The angels are actually creepy. I love the different variation of angel, whether it be the angel on fire or the one coming out of the TV. Yeah, I agree. I think that all looks visually amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Visually, this is my favourite episode too. Yeah, you know what? I think it had a pretty neato style. I think it had some nice colours.
A bit different as well from what we've got on last couple of episodes.
Exactly. It had like kind of a bluey tinge to it, which was quite nice. I rated it. Visually, this is my favourite episode too. The reveal of Claire's wings was incredible. Jodie is good throughout, but I maintain that her strongest performance was back in Chapter 2. That cliffhanger, holy shit, that was a great cliffhanger. And then there's a post-credit scene. A sequence that has now completely sold me on Belle and Vinda. Really?
Interesting.
Wow.
Wow, we really had opposite opinions pretty much on this week.
It just felt so convenient, you know? I'm just going to say it. I'm more invested in Belle and Vinda than I am Dan and Yaz, which is a big issue, to be honest. I didn't really find the Dan and Yaz stuff that interesting. The Peggy twist was very obvious as well. Oh, and holy shit, why would they put her in the Next Time trailer? Seriously. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Anyways, I've been rambling on for long enough. Like I said, my favourite episode of Flux so far, 7 out of 10, closer to a 6 than an 8. Scratch that, it's closer to an 8 than a 6. Oh, and one last thing, the transformation sequence at the end felt like something straight out of Doom Patrol. In fact, most of the series has given me Doom Patrol vibes. Love that show. So there's that. And then... Was that it? I think that's it. That's it over on Twitter. And then I have one over on Anchor. But give me 2 seconds...
Well, I really don't have pretty much anything to say at all.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Bruh.
We'll survive, bruh. Don't worry. Here's some content to buff us out. Now that's what I called comedy podcasts sent through 5 of them.
Jesus Christ.
5 parts of this review. So we'll see. I might cut you down in post.
Holy shit.
Actually, they're not all long voice. Let's just do it. When it loads.
Holy fucking shit, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Probably, hands down, the best Chibnall episode.
What's wrong with us?
I don't know how much that is him, or how much of it was the co-writer, but Jesus Christ, that was incredible. That ending, oh my god.
That was good.
I don't know if this confirms the whole thing that, like, angels are, like, Time Lords. That was, like, set up back in, what was it, the end of time, when Timothy Dalton was all like, oh, the Weeping Angels and all that stuff. But yeah, that was incredible. It was just brilliant.
Brilliant. He absolutely
frothed
it.
What are we missing?
Dude, something.
Okay, I made some notes during the episode, so here we go. I like that they remembered that Yaz was a police officer.
That was good, actually.
Was, like,
I did write that down. I didn't say that.
About the missing girl. I quite enjoyed that.
I meant to say that.
Yeah, at least
I think this probably might have worked better if it was a standalone episode. I
agree.
Like, including all the Bell stuff in there sort of like took it away from the stuff it should have been focusing on.
Yeah.
But I know it has to be part of Flux, so I think maybe if this was in another season, I think it might boost it up a little bit for me, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference. I also love the fact that it's set on the day that the episode airs, being the 21st of November. I know it's different for you guys in Australia.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, those old couple are
22nd.
idiots. Like, they're like, oh, don't come closer. You know, don't turn your back on the angel. And they're like, oh, don't you tell me what to do? And then they just get turned into dust.
Yeah.
So they got what they deserved, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a thought, just before we get into the next 2 parts of this. You think maybe it worked a bit more for everyone watching it at night time, and then for us watching it at the ass crack of dawn at 5 a.m. it didn't hit?
I do think that is a big thing to consider as well. And then also the second time, it's not really an enjoyable watch. It's more, this is what I can bring from the show. Yeah. But the thing is though, we don't have time to really we can't do it with the show. We can't just watch it at night.
Yeah.
Maybe on a rewatch later on.
Yeah. I think it's worth going in again because we must have missed something that like everyone else is enjoying it.
Loving it. I feel like
I don't hate it. I just think it was alright.
I just think it was alright. Yeah. Maybe we are missing something.
I don't know, Matt. I'm glad we both are because
it's different in Australia.
It's so, I know. Like, if not, we'd just be like yelling at each other. Like, I'd just be like, why don't you understand? Like, everyone listening right now is probably like, what are you fucking talking about? It's the best episode.
I know. Crazy.
Man. Let's go into part 3.
Alrighty.
Also, that bit where the sketch of the angel came up, and then the design of it, like, coming out of the sketch and the way the angel actually sort of, like, looked physically, like, looked like it was drawn when it was, like, out of the sketch, was amazing. And like when it like Jodie scrambled up the paper and like the angel actually scrunched up, and then when the angel was on fire, I
want to see more of that.
I don't know why I enjoyed that so much, but I did. This was a fucking incredible episode. I'm gonna give it a 8.5 out of 10.
Woo!
I think if you got rid of all the Belle and Vin stuff,
everyone's gonna hate us.
I think I might have enjoyed it more. Maybe give them to a 9, but they gets the 0.5 for having Neil from the In-Betweeners in it.
Hey!
He didn't really do much though, did he?
We love Blake Harrison.
Also, in the next time trailer, is that Kate Stewart?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I think it is.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
I'm not entirely sure. So hopefully, more information will have come out by the time you're hearing this. So I think it is. I think it might be.
Sure is.
Awesome.
So, I wonder what she's going to do. Maybe Unit's coming back.
Maybe. Yeah. Thanks for giving us some content.
Thank you.
I agree. I think no, I disagree. Actually,
wow,
we're the opposite of your opinion.
I can't believe it. We clearly have missed something.
Something big, man.
I've literally seen like no hate for this episode.
No, I've seen a few people say, "Don't yell at me," but I just think it was all right. Which
us right now.
Us right now. Although I feel like because we've been spilling out why we thought it was just all right, then
I have. Shane. Oh, sorry, you got one more?
Sorry,
go on.
We have from
go on.
the Now That's What I Call Comedy podcast. Once again, we also have, because they skipped it last week, but we have a question of the week.
Let's go.
Question of the week. How would you rank this compared to the other main Angel episodes? So I'll probably put Blink first, then this, then Angels Take Manhattan, then Flesh and Stone, the 2-part. What would you guys rank it?
That's a hard one. I think for me, it's easily Blink top, Angels Take Manhattan, Flesh and Stone second, just because I think that added to the lore, but it still kind of worked. And then it would be a toss-up between this and Angels Take Manhattan. Angels Take Manhattan don't really like the Angels usage in it. It's just it has that emotional thing into it. So if we are looking at like usage of the Angels, then this episode would come on top of that, I think. Yeah. But because the Amy and Rory farewell is quite a big part and it's quite a big emotional thread in the episode, it'll be a mix-up between those two coming third and fourth. I'm going to flick Connor's light on for him.
I totally agree. Yeah, definitely Blink, the Angels 2-part in season 5, Angels Take Manhattan, and then this episode. But it's hard because like I've just watched it. We literally hadn't even seen it 24 hours ago. It's hard to rank them, but
totally.
I think I'm going to stand by that, even if I rewatch it a couple.
Just knocking all of our action, our pop finals over
a couple of times, but oh man, I can't believe it.
What are we missing, Connor?
Are we out of touch, or is it the kids that are wrong?
I don't know.
That's a Simpsons quote. So.
It's probably a bit of both, because there is some stuff that I do think, like, script-wise is really wrong with the episode.
Yeah.
Stuff that I don't think I'm going to come around to. But I do think that maybe a few things set me off on the wrong foot earlier on.
Were you quite tired this morning?
No, I was actually fresh as a daisy this morning.
Okay, because I was quite tired, so I think
I literally
that might have been a part
woke
of it
up at Nick's, and quite often I wake up at Nick's on a Monday morning, and I'm like, I gotta go home, watch Doctor Who. I'm like, stretching. This morning I was like, alarm went off and I was like,
you're hopping.
Let's go. Fucking whistling, jogging home, fucking butterflies everywhere.
Did you jog home?
No, I drive. I just thought it would be a nicer image to have me.
I jogged to my door and walked in.
Rather than me in my fucking short PJs in the car, just like trying to stay awake, which is what it's usually like.
Yeah.
But no, I always sit there with my morning coffee because I have strong like concentration issues watching stuff. So when I watch stuff, I try and always have like a drink, like a coffee,
a caffeinated beverage.
Yeah, or like if I'm watching just a on like a Thursday night or something, I'm watching a movie, usually just have like 2 or 3 beers, just because just having I don't know, just the thought of having something to just like also slightly preoccupy my mind a little bit helps me be more engaged in what I'm watching.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so that's what I did with this. My same routine. Had my yogurt, my morning breakfast, my yogurt with my coffee, and it just didn't hit. Just everything was lined up for it to be a beautiful one for me.
God.
So I don't know why it didn't hit. I can't. Well, you've heard why it didn't hit for me, but maybe I'm just fucking wrong.
You also haven't watched it again, like I have, and I still kind of feel the same way. So maybe you would feel a bit different on a rewatch. Maybe. Will you rewatch it before next week?
I'll rewatch it before next week and give you an update.
Give you an update.
And I might also, if my opinion is vastly different than this, I will change the score I'm going to give it, just because, I hate to do that kind of thing, but. With Flux, it's only 6 episodes, and if I rate this one quite low...
And you've seen it once, and also the other episodes we've seen like heaps. And
exactly.
I really do feel like I could have done with a like when we review episodes and our normal rewatch. It's been years since we've seen them. I really feel like it would have been easier to review this episode if I'd seen it years ago and had a time to process it.
Totally.
But either way, I've only got one review from Shane, and he said really mixed emotions. So he's just like us. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Shane.
And then I just shot up a post saying,
what did Shane's review? Was that all he
said? That was it. That's all I got today from knowledge. And then I just said, did you like Village of Angels? And 9 people voted yes. No one voted no. So
damn.
Even people who I've seen people on here who have voted yes, who have voted no for every episode of The Flux so far. This is the first for some people who have voted yes.
What is happening?
What have we done, Aiden?
Well, I'm having a meltdown, Connor. What is wrong with us?
Do you want to hear something crazy, though?
We're fucking dumb.
Oh, I think everyone knows that.
Go on.
There's this YouTuber I watch in America, and he was watching Doctor Who last night, and he's like... It's called Quinton Reviews on YouTube, and he's like friends with like Josh Sterness and stuff, and like they were talking to him on Twitter, and he was saying, this is crazy, I didn't know this, in BBC America, which is where Doctor Who airs in America, is how you watch it, they have ad breaks in it.
Yeah, they do.
Isn't that insane?
It is insane. Apparently this episode actually got like obliterated with ad breaks as well.
I heard that, and apparently he was saying as well, they'll do like when the ad break comes on, they do a little like 5-second don't go anywhere, this is coming up, and they show clips in the episode, like scenes, like been like, this is coming up next.
That's so weird.
That's horrible.
That's disgusting.
That's horrible. Who
That's
decided
a ratty
to do
move.
that?
That's a ratty move.
Like, I understand that ABC in Australia doesn't stream in the best quality, but at least it doesn't
I'd
do
much
that.
rather this, yeah.
It doesn't do that. It's no ad breaks. Ever. Which I just think is just... They don't mess with, like, the BBC's properties, but, like...
They're so good. They give it to us for free.
Yeah,
so
free.
beautiful.
I know when channels like 9 picked up Sherlock, it was just obliterated with adverts, and it's not written for ad breaks.
And especially, like, Sherlock's like an hour and a half long. If you watch it with adverts, it's going to be, like, well over 2 hours.
It was just such a nightmare. Oof. And, it's not like a sitcom where there's, like, ad breaks written into the script. Like, it's not like that. Like, why do it? It completely...
I actually got into Sherlock like that, though. I watched... the first episode of Series 2... What's it called? The one with the gal.
Scandal and Bow
in Britain.
A scandal.
A great British scandal. A very British scandal.
Only other side thing to bring up. 2 things. I saw a really weird Carvanista and Dan fan art today on Twitter.
Oh no, this is a big thing.
That's weird.
Everyone's talking about it.
That's weird.
That's
odd.
That's like what I feel like if someone ever did draw the picture of me bending you over and pegging you over the TARDIS console, like we've discussed in the past, I feel like this is how other people... I'd be happy to see it. I feel like other people would be like, what the fuck is this?
Is it a joke?
Just maybe look muscly. I don't know. That's the thing. I actually don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't think it is. Something tells me it's not.
Okay. Goodness me. That's just bestiality though, isn't it? It's not even like legal. Either way. And last thing I guess is I had a tiny pinch of salt of respect for John Barrowman.
Oh fuck!
And now it's all gone.
Dude, he's a dickhead.
He went to this. There's this clip going around. Everyone's talking about him at fucking Comic-Con, going, "No one showed up," and then he turns around. There's a massive crowd, and he's like, No matter what you say, no matter what you do, they still love me. And it's so cringe. It's so cringe.
You did your Matt Smith voice with that.
No matter what you do,
not a single nigga's gonna stop me
tonight. The Mandorca. Oh, it's cringe.
Yeah, he's a dickhead.
Yeah.
That's
just such a fucking backwards way of looking at all his allegations and stuff.
And he's just making things worse for himself,
100%. This fucking Mike. 100%. It's just lost to fucking flip.
He's dumb, man. He's a dumb man.
I always know when we've had like an episode that we just don't like, because last week we recorded for like an hour and a half.
This week we've just hit an hour.
We've just hit an hour.
Hit an hour.
I can't believe that. That's fucking shit.
Yeah.
What are we doing with our
What are we
lives?
doing? Where's the content? I don't fucking mind. It means I get to edit this quicker and go up to my bedroom quicker before
Also,
the episode goes live.
Also, we said the next filmed episode was going to be the season 6, episode 6. But we are going to record the rest of them here, and then the last episode 5 will be here.
Yes.
And 6 are down, so we're going to be filming them all. Just because it's easy for you as well.
It's easy for me to edit them because I have some work equipment. Oh, I hope they're not listening and they know that I'm using my work equipment. Gasp. Are you? I don't think they care, actually. Yeah, well, this is all my work equipment.
No, I was just trying to
no, I'm not.
you.
That was just a typo.
Jeez, you stuck yourself off twice.
But yeah, no, I have some work equipment that really helps me if we do it in person, that I can kind of utilize. So it makes it easier for me to upload it. And also, I just think it's a fun time.
It's easier. It's a lot better in person as well. And there's a lot of benefits. We get to see each other. It's better for the show, and it's easier for you to.
We're a little bit more kinetic.
Yeah, and also it looks so much better.
Yes.
Last week's episode on YouTube did really well, and I think people like the idea of it actually looking good, not through.
You can see us, except when it went dark last week. That's why I've added the lamp.
Even then, I don't think it was that terrible.
Yeah, fair.
It still looked fine.
Yeah, cool. All right.
I think it looks really nice, but
yeah, I think some YouTubers film with iPod Nanos sometimes, and so
Nanos.
we can get away with it.
Yeah,
because it's the content, not the quality.
The old
it's the
Life videos were fucking awful.
Yeah,
like that, but people still like them. So
bloody tragic.
It's a different time,
different place.
Different time, different place.
That's right.
Well,
I don't know.
To the Flux next week.
That's right. We've
2
already
episodes left.
Already discussed our theories.
That'll be exciting. I'm happy that Kate Stewart's back. Could be fun. I reckon we'll both go back to feeling better about it next week.
I think we will, and I don't feel shit about it because for me this was it's a low for the series, but
we didn't give our scores.
We'll do it.
Oh, okay.
We haven't. Actually, no. I was about to say let's wrap up. Actually, for me it was a bit of a low for the series, but it's not that low. It stepped down, and I'm ready for it to rear up. It's a Who. You don't want every episode to be perfect. Who are we kidding? We're not gonna love everyone.
It's revenge for liking last week's episode when everyone else pretty much didn't.
Chibnall was like, no, fuck you.
It's time you disliked an episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude, I can't, it's going to be cool to rewatch this all in one. It's about to fall off again. Is it? I don't know.
It's kind of like that. It should be fine.
But this bloody Flux on Blu-ray, right? They've not announced it in Australia yet, but it's an Amazon exclusive steelbook.
Okay.
Right? So all the other steelbooks have been on Zavvi and stuff like that, except the Series 11 and 12 ones. They've all been Amazon exclusive.
Okay.
But only Amazon UK. The Series 11 one came out at JB Hi-Fi. They got the exclusive rights to the steelbook in Australia.
That's right.
They also did for Series 12.
That's like our H&B here in Australia.
That's right, yeah. But for Series 12, they went, fuck it. We're not going to make it into a steelbook. They made a limited edition version of Series 12 and just got the art and put it on a standard Blu-ray cover.
I love that.
And charged $5 extra for it.
I love that.
I was like, who are you kidding me?
That's so funny.
I'm so worried they're going to do the same thing with Flux, and that I'll try and get it from the UK somehow. But it's always I usually send it to my nana, but then I feel bad and she's not been too well lately, so I'm like, I don't want to.
It's just a hassle, yeah.
It's a bloody hassle.
Yeah.
I don't know why the fuck Amazon can't just ship it to. Amazon Australia can't ship it.
I don't know.
I'll probably find one on eBay. Is how I sort of tend to do it.
Ooh, a resale, as they say.
Or suppliers that buy 10 copies of them and sell them off or something.
Yeah.
It happens. It's just unnecessary. It's so annoyingly hard to get a Blu-ray in today's society.
It shouldn't be.
They should be dishing out Blu-rays, because physical media's dying. Ooh.
I know, that's the thing. Like, people want to support it. Why not make it as easy to order it as you can? Like,
yeah. To quote Nancy in Series 2, Episode 2 of Stranger Things, it's bullshit. You know, she's drunk. She's drunk and just like, it's bullshit.
I haven't watched Stranger Things Season 2 since it fucking aired.
Yeah, I watched it. I've been rewatching it lately, and so that's the last episode I watched.
It's bullshit.
I forgot how funny that scene was. I remember me and Nicole used to take the piss out of it all the time. And I watched it. And I went up to her yesterday and I was like, Nicole, it's bullshit. And she had no idea what I was doing. She totally forgot about it.
You know the scene of the party where she gets like too drunk?
Yeah, and she gets wine all over. And then she's like, I don't love you, or something to Steve.
Oh, Trouble in Paradise.
Stranger Things spoilers. There
When's
you go.
the new season out?
Next year.
Okay.
But I've not watched any of the series since they came out, so I was like, I'm going to rewatch them, because I think when I watched Series 3, there was a few bits that I like wasn't quite following, because I couldn't remember from earlier series, so yeah. Connor, what were you going to rate Village of the Angels? Not Angles, as some people write it on Twitter. Angels.
I'm bad at that. I'm an awful speller.
What did you write it on yours? You did. You wrote it right?
Yeah.
But did you have to write over it to get it right?
No, my pen was running out to go another one.
Sure. There's a little scribble. On Angels.
That's actually the truth.
Okay, Connor. What would you rate it?
I had written down here 7 out of 10, but I actually can't stand by that. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to give it a 6.5.
Oh my god.
But I do like it, though.
Yeah? Well,
just don't love it.
That's the same as me, man. I'm going to give it a 6.5 as well.
I think it's on par with Howling Apocalypse, which I believe I gave. No, I gave 7.5.
You gave that a 7.5.
Okay. Well,
and you spoke much more highly of the Halloween Apocalypse than you did.
Well, I guess I'm just full of shit.
Yeah, I think we both are.
I guess so.
We just think we can do better, don't we?
We're going to get so much fucking hate from this.
I know. Everyone's...
You horrible reviewers.
You don't even know... You just hate Chris Chibnall. You just hate women. It's the one episode a woman's written.
Oh, God. They got us, Aiden.
They got us. Well, my favourite of Series 12 is Haunting of Villa Diodati, so...
Yeah, that must have annoyed
Suck
you
my
a little
ass.
bit that it wasn't as compelling as that one.
I don't know.
Nah.
I feel like it was on par, you know? I feel like it was on par as that one.
Both mediocre.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe
Did she co-write that with Chibnall as well?
No, that was just her. Okay. I think I definitely prefer that one over this one. But, yeah. Sorry, guys, that it's been a bit of just a shit talk episode.
Unfortunately, we still, there's still hope. There's still 2 episodes to go.
There's always hope.
Rebellions are built on hope.
That's going to be fucking Belle's line in the next episode.
Oh, God.
All right, shall we call it early? Shall we sing us out in song?
I guess so. There's literally nothing else to talk about. Even my side notes, which I'm like, we might not even get to them. I've read all those.
Yeah, well, that's lovely.
Is what it is.
We've had a jam-packed episode of the 50% Doctor Who podcast.
No,
Connor,
that's what I call a traffic jam.
would you like to sing us out in the song?
Sure.
I feel like we haven't even filmed the episode. I feel like we're just getting started.
I know. It is what it is, I guess.
Let's do it. Let's sing, baby.
All right. And a 1, and a 2, and a skiddly diddly do.
It's Aidan and Connor's podcast. We're doing Doctor Who reviews. Don't blink. Doing Doctor Who reviews. How's shit?
Hey.
Every time they were like, don't blink, someone would be like, what are you talking about? Zooms in on eye. Blinks, you know?
Like me accidentally bump into you and look at
oh, dude, the thumble was so bad.
You knew it was coming.
I know. Actually, no, I didn't. It was so much worse than I thought that they could write.
You're like they're not going to do a fumble.
Yeah, sure, they wouldn't be that dumb.
2 writers in the room. Wait, how do we do this? They'll fumble.
We'll fumble. Yeah, they were like, let's see what happens when we walk backwards. And they walked backwards together and fumbled.
If they fumbled, we could fumble.
Yeah.
Everyone fumbles.
Yeah, well, that was a shame, wasn't it?
The fumble of Wimbledon.
Shame of an episode for us.
We're going to get ripped apart.
I'm going to cut that there. Wasn't that fun? Dude, it's only 7:15. We usually start at this time.
I just kept staring and smiling.